So thugs who target shop workers are being warned that the laws are changing to come after them. It comes as a survey from trade union, I think it's Usdaw, found that nearly 1 in 5 retail staff suffered a violent attack last year, up from 8% in 2022. Almost half said they've been threatened with violence. Let's speak with Paddy Lillis, General Secretary of the Union of Shop and Distributive Allied Workers. Is it Usdaw or Usdaw? I'm bound to ask, Paddy, just to start with.
No, Usdaw.
There you go. I wasn't far off to start with. No. Nice to have you with us, sir. Listen, I mean, we're all aware now of the what appears to be an epidemic of shoplifting. It isn't just the nicking of the goods from somebody's shop, it's the violence that might also happen at the same time as well. And certainly I'm assuming, Paddy, that is the big area of your concern.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen year on year increases in violence and abuse towards retail workers. And of course, these are individuals who live in the community, work in the community, serve their community. And it's just appalling behaviour where retail workers, we've seen the stats again, another survey out Monday from us, 69% verbally abused, 45% threatened, and sadly 17% assaulted. You know, if you look back to, I think 2012, it was about 6% assaults. So it's now gone up to nearly trebled in a couple of years. So, you know, behaviours now, you know, it's just appalling that retail workers have to face this sort of behaviour.
And of course, to compound the misery, Paddy, one of the problems is that you often don't get anybody to turn up to these incidents, even when you do call.
Well, I mean, that's one of our main areas of concern is the police response time. And I understand resources is an issue. But of course, if somebody was assaulted outside a pub or a club at night, the police would be there in their numbers.
Yep.
If somebody assaults a shop worker, and even when they detain someone, the likelihood is the police don't turn up. Now, it's getting better. We're working closely with police and crime commissioners and local authorities to try and ensure high streets are safe. But this is a knock-on effect. It's not a victimless crime at the end of the day.
Sure.
You know, our first priorities are members and those working at the front end. But of course, if you look back to last year, £1.8 billion in shoplifting last year, and a further £1.2 billion extra put into security measures. There's £3 billion, which we all have to pay for at the end of the day. Yeah. And the biggest worry we have is the epidemic in terms of not just shoplifting, but the organised crime gangs now utilising the easy targeting of retail stores.
Yeah, and it should be said, and it can't really be overstated, Paddy, and I've certainly spoken and known a few people that have been in a situation when somebody, and we're not talking about somebody walking in the co-op and nicking a tin of salmon. I mean, that's bad enough as well. Nobody's going to endorse any form of theft. But when it happens in a kind of gang capacity, there's often, you know, there might be a lone worker behind the counter or just a couple of them. It can be terrifying. I mean, this is, you know, when people talk about being in an armed robbery, I mean, there are big similarities here. If somebody walking in with a load of baseball bats and starts nicking stuff and threatening you, giving you a slap, etc., I mean, you may never get over that. These are huge. These are big crimes.
Well, mental health's one of the biggest issues, and you're right. Verbal abuse and so on. Everybody reacts differently. If you're behind a store and you've been abused, being assaulted or threatened or even abused, you're watching the door. Who's coming around the corner next? And I want to say it's not this isn't a victimless crime. There's the theft side of it is one issue we all pay for. There's the issue of the health of the staff and the mental health of the staff, where they have to go off sick, they end up going to their doctors or get psychiatric help, etc. So it's an ongoing cost to everyone in this, and it has to be taken more seriously what it is. I'm pleased now that the Crime and Policing Bill will go through Parliament next year and give that protection to shop workers. Will it resolve the issue? Not resolve it, but it'll send a clear message to the criminal fraternity. Enough's enough, and we're now going to pursue you.
Well, you'd hope so, wouldn't you? You really would. Listen, Paddy, I wish you luck with it. I know you've worked incredibly hard to try and, you know, raise the profile of this problem, so hopefully it's coming to a level of fruition in that respect. Thank you for your time. Paddy Lillis, General Secretary of Usdaw. That's the Union, General Union of Shop Distributive... Can I start that again?